And mark my words, the last name Tszyu will live on as the greatest boxing family ever lived. I don't think he's the smartest chap on the block, so I think I'm gonna make him pay.
But still on wobbly leg, and left hook drops him.
That's pretty stupid. Just say that.
Not know how he's still standing. He's down.
I'm just here to show that I'm levels above. Quite simple.
But he's not. Oh, he got dropped with that left hook.
He's a step-aside fighter, clearly.
This fight's over. The champ.
I've been chasing him for a long time, so...
And the tally goes in.
October 20th, 2024, Orlando, USA. The IBF light middleweight title is on the line. Two fighters with different styles and destinies meet. Tszyu, a bright star from Australia, and Bakram Murtazaliev, a Russian warrior who came to the ring to leave a mark on history. How did this fight end? Let's find out. Tszyu is a guy who is used to winning. Tim did everything to make his last name the main asset. He did not need to prove his worth as a fighter. The hype around the son of Tszyu worked for him from the first days. Fans of his father saw him as a continuation of the legend, and promoters used the name to create a show. Tim himself never missed an opportunity to emphasize his legacy, as if this automatically makes him the best in the ring.
And mark my words, the last name Tszyu will live on as the greatest boxing family ever lived. When me and my brother are done with this.
For Tim, the last name became like a VIP pass. No matter what you show in the ring, you will still be allowed into the champion's zone. When it comes to real fights with strong opponents, he loses confidence, which was especially evident in his fight with Sebastian Fundora. This fight was a real nightmare for Tim. He faced insurmountable resistance and showed that he was not ready to fight at a high level. Without his famous name, he could have remained unnoticed on the international arena. Instead of admitting his mistakes, Tim continues to build illusions around his career, trying to convince everyone that his defeat was just an accident. Evidence of this can be considered the desire to fight the IBF champion, Bakram Murtazaliev. Tim did not learn his lesson this time and allowed himself to be arrogant. Before the fight with Bakram, he assured everyone that the Russian was not a problem for him. And frankly speaking, he self-confidently threw words left and right.
Again, I don't think he's the smartest chap on the block, so I think I'm gonna make him pay.
Well, they said that he woke up way underweight this morning and put weight back on to get to there. That's what his coach has told us. Do you believe that?
Well, if they did do that, then that's pretty stupid. Just say that. Beautiful, beautiful. When we step in the ring, I think it's gonna be all a bit different. And that's the best part about boxing, is taken by surprise. He's faster than I thought. He's stronger than I thought. He hits harder than I thought. That's all the questions are going to be answered come Saturday night. He keeps saying that Bakram, he's much avoided. That's nonsense. I've been chasing him for a long time, so that's nonsense. I'm just here to show that I'm levels above. Quite simple.
While other fighters were training, Tim was busy with press conferences, assuring everyone that he was already the new king of the first middleweight.
What kind of statement are you looking to make Saturday?
The boogeyman is back. You know, the 154-pound division, I never left. You know, I went to hell and back the come and fight, but this is my vengeance, my comeback. This is my statement to be made type fight. But as they say, don't blink in this sport, and this is one of those fights that you can't blink.
And about the fact that he says that you talk a lot, did you have any response to those?
Hype. I've listened to that since the start of my career. Not new. They keep saying that. A couple have started respecting, but then you get another one and again hype, blah blah blah, more bullshit. I do interviews, but that's what selling a fight does, and talking about the fight. And unlike some guys that aren't promotable at all, it's not my fault, you know. He's a step-aside fighter, clearly, you know. I'm here to take the biggest challenges, the hardest fights, the biggest fights, and create a legacy. Him on the other side, he's step-aside money, this and that, and whatever, man. We're in two different worlds.
But Bahram Murtazaliev is a completely different character. Quiet, focused, and dangerous. He doesn't need to shout or challenge. He just goes into the ring and does his job. The fight with Tszyu was a long-awaited chance for him to finally prove himself on the world stage.
Да, если честно, мне вообще без разницы, оценивают, недооценивают, переоценивают, это не имеет никакого значения. В субботу мы выйдем в ринг и все увидят, никаких проблем. Уже разговоры должны заканчиваться, время боя.
To me, it really doesn't matter if they overrating me, if not, they're not looking too much into me. I really don't care about it. All the talkings must be end. Saturday night is a fight, and that's where we must be concentrated.
As in his previous fights, Tim did not take his opponent seriously and put himself above the rest.
But I'm just going to show him that this is no step-aside fighter. I'm just here to show that I'm levels above. Quite simple.
And this is after a crushing defeat in his last fight. It is unknown what he was hoping for, given that he did not talk about any changes or conclusions after the fight. Instead, he took it as a joke.
I've been chasing the big fights, the big names, the toughest, scariest monsters, let's just say monsters out there. Unfortunately, they don't frighten me.
Heard from you.
Oh, well, I guess step aside money and easier risk opponents to keep that mandatory spot is much easier than facing the big bad monster.
And then that day came, October 20th, 2024, Orlando, USA. Two fighters, two different worlds, two paths that crossed in the ring. For one, it was a chance to prove that his last name is not all that should be known about him. For another, it was an opportunity to make a statement so loudly that the boxing world would freeze. Different goals, different stories, but one common goal: victory at any cost. The fight started quickly. In the first round, both fighters were looking at each other, trying to understand the opponent's strategy. Tim tried to take the initiative into his own hands, working with jabs and combining punches, but Bahram remained focused, effectively defending himself and choosing moments for counterattacks.
Yeah, Bahram just doing what we said based off those CompuBox numbers, just clearly. Look at that, double jab. Will not be a lot of filling out between these two.
To start throwing something dangerous. As soon as he does, I'm going to that body right away. You saw that right-hand counter shot from Tszyu early, cleanly landing downstairs.
There's the right hand and a left hook by Murtazaliev, the champion, and a 1-2. Tszyu, and he sees blood, the top of his head.
Versus Fundora all over again.
There's a big right hand, too, by the champion. Left hooks, right hooks, getting around the guard. He's got decent straight right hand when he wants to use it, too. There's a left hook by the champion.
Tim Tszyu
Stiff jab and right hand by Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu has 4.
They are testing the waters early and loading up behind these shots.
And the right hand.
From the second round, the picture of the fight changed dramatically. Murtazaliev began to dominate, working on Tszyu's body and head. A series of powerful punches knocked Tim down 3 times in the round.
Tonight, Joe Chiambo out of New York City. A really good cut man. And again, both of these men throwing big left. There's a right hand by the champion. Showing a stiff beard, taking big shots. Tszyu unloads the right hand. And a left step drops Tim Tszyu. There's a short uppercut by the champion. When two men don't want to step back. Tszyu still wobbly. Look at his legs. Needs to pick those hands up. He's standing there. There's a body shot by the champ. Tszyu, but still on wobbly legs, and left hook drops him. Being unbeaten. Trying to stop and make a statement against Tim Tszyu. He's dropped him twice. 2 knockdowns in 2. There's a good exchange. Tszyu, the wobbly legs. Under a minute left here in round 2. Left hook by Tszyu's wobbly. He's trying to hold on. Another right hand. A left. The legs are gone. I do not know how he's still standing up. And he's down.
In the third round, Bakram continued the pressure, leaving no chance for his opponent. After the fourth knockdown, Tszyu's corner threw in the towel, ending the fight with a technical knockout.
Murtazaliev threw 87 of them in the last round in that right hand. Another right to the top of the head of Tszyu. Little short left hook on the inside. These hooks are designed to get around the guard.
Tszyu still pressuring, but he's not
Oh, he
jabbing.
got dropped with that left hook! It's the same.
One more time, fight's over.
Chris Young says one more time, this fight's over. The champ is trying to turn the lights out on Tszyu. And the tag goes in. It's over.
The victory was a triumph for Bakram Murtazaliev, who proved his readiness to be a world-class champion. Tszyu, on the other hand, faced the harsh reality that he still has a lot of work to do on his weaknesses to face serious challenges. This fight underscored that in boxing, it's not just ambition that's important, but also real preparation, mental toughness, and the ability to adapt. Bakram continues to rise, and Tim must reconsider his approach if he wants to regain his status as one of the best in the weight class.
Beautiful, beautiful. When we step in the ring, I think it's gonna be all a bit different, and that's the best part about boxing is taken by surprise. He's faster than I thought. He's stronger than I thought. He hits harder than I thought. That's all the questions are going to be answered.
But he's not
Oh, he
jabbing.
got dropped with that left hook!